Where you're going to end up sitting, and Alexi and Steve and Kate, I'm going to actually have you guys move up. Yes. Lexi, you want front row? Can you handle it? It means that I talk almost every second. Well, welcome everyone. Who's excited? Drew? I'm so excited. Pumped? Ready for it? Today we're gonna be covering Spark Your Career. Going to go through an overview on what we need to begin as we start our journey with Keller Williams. I love our systems, processes, and how we begin. The beginning portion of this class, we're going to talk a little bit about you, why you're in real estate, what got you into here, what brought you here, how you started, and then even more, we're going to move through the process of talking about your mentals. Are you ready, David? It's going to dive in deep. We're going to work on some of our mental exercises, how we feel about ourselves, how we wake up, how we attack, how we prepare our plan for starting our career. And then I'll move into more of the nitty-gritty of teaching you. Breaks. I love questions. I love it if you interact and talk about things. So I want you to interrupt if you need to, unless you see me like passionately in a thought, then just hold it for 30 seconds and I'll be done. That's the benefit of having an extreme. Stop me and I would forget what I was talking about. And then it won't even be offensive. See, that's how it works. So let's start off with some introductions. Who do I have on Zoom? Who are my Zoomites?
Scott. Scott's here.
Scott. Welcome, Scott. We're glad to have you. Oh, this thing's on. Okay. Your name. It even says, hold on. It gives me a couple of things. It says, ooh. There's this piece I was asking. Here it is. How long you've been in real estate? Why you got into real estate? Why you're going into real estate? And what did you do before or currently? Maybe you flew helicopters?
I'm Alexi Robledo. I've been an agent for maybe 5 months roughly now. I did door-to-door sales before, and the reason I got into real estate is just it's always been my end goal, and I said might as well start now than later.
Like that.
I'm Kate Anderson. I am in my 7th week of real estate. I got into it because I was doing online sales at home, and this seemed like a good avenue to start a career. So,
how crazy would it be? You haven't like sold something yet, have you? 7 weeks?
I did last week.
Oh, sorry. What did I?
I had my first closing last week. So,
It's not normal. Takes a superhuman for that.
I'm Tyson. I got into real estate because my uncle did it and I've always wanted to.
Yes.
And I did solar before this.
That's fantastic. Who'd you sell solar?
I didn't sell solar. I just helped with an installer. Like I took calls from other sales reps. So
I like that. Let me turn that down.
I'm David. I got into real estate. I want to be an investor into real estate. That was my primary drive into it. But learning more about real estate by being an agent, I thought would help me. Also, accumulating more wealth to get more properties was the idea. I've been in real estate for about 2 months. I'm still full-time with the National Guard, so I work 40 hours a week with them. And I'm a pilot with them. No big deal.
No big deal. He just flies Apache helicopters. Yes. Yeah. No, you could say hi. Say hello. Don't be strange.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julie.
Julie works for me.
I work for Carl now.
She's awesome. She's a BYU runner. If you ever seen her famously crossing the finish lines, none of the weird BYU videos. Not her.
What do you run?
I did a 10K.
10K.
Yeah, way too long.
Cool. I'm Cash Shepard. I will be full-time in real estate Monday, but I've been part-time for about a year. I sold cars for 7 years and just want to change markets, and it's a different environment. So I'm excited.
I'm Drew. I am yet to pass my test, working on it. And I currently work at an elementary school with special needs kids. And I want to get into real estate just because I don't really didn't know how it worked. And I think it's something that's interesting and everybody should know how to do.
Ben? Yes, yes, you do.
Okay,
Molly,
so-
don't forget you.
All right, so I've been with KW for the last year. I get to teach the next class on Monday, so I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if I'll be here for this whole class, but I just wanted to kind of get a feel for how the flow goes since I'll be new. Anyways, I've been doing real estate since 2015. Me and my wife work together, the Nielsen Property Group, and I also like to run. So I'm going to be doing the Deseret News Marathon in July. So yeah, if you ever need help, don't feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help. So
I love it.
I'm excited to help teach next week. So
We're excited to have you. Okay.
Hi, I'm Molly Kearns. I am the Director of Agent Services. So I help new agents get into school and also for students get into school and then help them pass that test and help them get acclimated to KW living and life. And I've been with KW for almost 4 years and got my license last year finally. Had a few deals, which were very exciting. So yeah, love it. Glad to be here.
Okay. Oh, I have to put double microphones on. Who has an exceptional memory? And you do? No. Anybody? Can I put you on the spot and make you feel extremely uncomfortable? Stand up, come up here. This exercise is a fun one for me. I think Tyson's the one I talked to a little bit about this before. Now, each one of you, if you would, I need every single one of us to stand up and make a line right here. You are going to come over, shake hands with my main man, David, here. And David is going to tell you his name, your name. Oh, crap. If David, if you cannot tell them your name, I want you to shake their hands. And while you talk to them, I want you to tell them that they are not important enough for you to remember who they are.
You can all sit down. You're not important. I might remember a few. We'll see.
All right.
Ben,
oh,
how you doing?
good to meet you.
Let me go see. My name's Hard.
Give me the first letter.
Yep, you got to say the line. You are.
You're not important enough. You got to sit down. Cash Money Shepherd. How you doing, man? Solar man. Solar boy.
Starts with a T.
Sure, Tyson. Yeah, Tyson. Good guy.
You're doing
Molly.
okay.
What's up, Molly? What's up, Drew? And I remember you too, definitely. But unfortunately, you're not important enough right now to sit down.
Woo, how do we feel?
Yeah, great. Yeah. The problem is I was trying to think about what I was going to say for the first few people, so I wasn't able to remember their names. But then I started writing down names after that.
That's what I love.
So
Guys, this was one of my favorite exercises. Thank you, David. This was done at a summit. They gathered all of these top CEOs, went around, everybody mingled. Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Introduce yourselves. And afterwards, each person had to go through this line and say this. CEO of Dobie, you are not important enough for me to remember you. And move to the next. That feeling, right? Now, why is this important? What does this have to do with absolutely anything? Take a stab at it, Ben.
So I think that people don't.
Oh, microphone. It's on.
So I think that people usually don't remember the things that you say, but they do remember how you make them feel. And for me, when you hear the words, "You're not that important for me," that you if you don't remember somebody's name, that's basically how you're going to feel as well.
Exactly.
So
Who got that? Who was our not important enough? It was you two. And when it happened, you're like, oh, dang it, I thought I was going to remember my name. Which definitely David likes you. He has zero problems with you guys. But it's that moment of training our minds from the very beginning. This is a customer-centric business. Your number one job, the only way for you to survive in this business will be how you connect, adapt, and work with clients. One of the key principles, if this is a weak point for you, let your little noggins generate some lights. Write down your thoughts and feelings, different things that you can do to work on the weaknesses that you have. And if memory and memorizing names is a hard one, flashcards. Heck, we all have smartphones. There's apps out there that will literally take care of this for you. Learn, memorize, practice. Ritz-Carlton, greatest hotels ever created in the world. They are rated so high on customer service. People literally will plan their trips if there is a Ritz-Carlton in that area. They will decide to go to that location of the world if they have a Ritz-Carlton to accommodate them. We had a guest speaker come in for our More Club 2 months ago. He was the director of operations for Ritz-Carlton for 8 years. It was so powerful for me. And something that I wish I could have instilled earlier in my career. 2 big takeaways. All that they do to set themselves apart is to know their guest. You would be able to go to Dubai. This was his analogy. There's a family that goes to Dubai, and in Dubai, their children order that True Moo chocolate milk. They really loved it. They ordered it to their room service. So when they booked in Atlanta, Georgia, or wherever that was, it was someplace in Georgia. He had this one. Anyways. And as he booked that place in Georgia, you ready for this? They would arrive. As their car pulled up, the first person they ran into had a headset inside their ear. He would say, "Are you a returning guest or are you a new client?" You'd say, "I'm returning." Come back to the Ritz-Carlton. That person that's just getting their car would quickly gather the names of the family and then say, Mr. Jones is in a red t-shirt. His wife, Rebecca, is in a blue blouse. And kids, I would say their names. That's just, he's literally describing the keys. They don't even register the fact that he's grabbing their names. And in his microphone, he's speaking to the rest. Mr. Jones, Ritz-Carlton. How are you today, Rebecca? They're just like, wait, hold up. What just happened? Okay, all right, well, let's keep going. Then they get to the door greeter, opening the door for them. Welcome. Then they make it to the front lobby where they start getting their stuff. Their key is ready, everything's processed. Welcome back to the Ritz-Carlton. Jones family, here's your keys. We're ready to take you upstairs. And when they arrive upstairs, they give the tour of the room. And what does the person do? Children love, names them. We've already stocked the fridge for you. Opens it up. $8 for the chocolate milk. A client that will spend hundreds of thousands the rest of their life with them. It's done. It's sold. That's done. And the second takeaway that I got was learning to pass the egg is the reference that they call it. An egg is a client, Bibiana. So I have a buyer. It's time for you to have this buyer, right? Let's see if I've got something up here that I could throw. This looks great. Here's my buyer. Are you guys ready? Oh, did that feel safe to throw an egg at you? We'd be like, hey, you just threw an egg in here. Like if that, we got. No, when you pass an egg, when you pass off a client to someone, whether we're talking about a transaction, whether we're talking about showing a home, whether we're talking about the numerous times that I haven't personally been able to go look at a house with a specific client, how is my pass-off process? Here is my buyer. This is their names. This is what they love. I'd be more than happy to pay you to cover that showing for me in Eagle Mountain if you wouldn't mind going. But here's the information that you need to know about them and how great they are. Thank you so much for handling them. I will follow up with you in a minute to see how my egg's doing. How much better is that than just a text message? Who's got me for 40 bucks? You got to show a house for me? You got it? Cool. Good luck. Funny experience the other day. Todd and I are laughing. We had a hard lesson ourselves on learning this the tough way. Todd has a unique client. Doesn't like to be, they're not a social. And I am an extreme social. So in my head, Todd's like, hey, you mind covering for me? I'm really slammed. Dude, of course, got you. We ourselves who do great at this, just had a moment, we were a little too busy. Didn't even pause for ourselves, for me to ask questions. On me, right? I should have asked questions. Tell me about them. What do I need to know? What do I need to do? So we get to this house. Carl's not ready, but in his head, he's like, oh, I'm going to give them the best experience, Drew, that they've ever had. And let them know that Todd's partner is freaking awesome. Open the door, start walking through bedrooms with them, pointing out things, go down the things, show them the electrical panel. We're talking about it. This is going smart. Oh, let's go upstairs. Okay, we're going upstairs. We're in the master. Oh, look at that door over there. Yeah. Let's talk. Oh, I like this. What do you think about this? We're talking. Boom, we get done. Feedback. And I'm feeling during it. I'm like, something's not going right. Feels weird. Feels weird. I don't know. Todd's like, oh, dude, totally forgot to tell you. And I'm like, well, I forgot to ask. Yeah, these are the people that they like it if you open the door and then just kind of let them go in there, and they like to talk as a family and like have their own space. Oh, so I went extreme on the opposite of what they don't like. Nice. Okay, well, that's why they didn't like the house. Do you think the house was bad? No, even when the houses we went to, they loved it. However, they had a shadow following them. Guys, it's that simple. Learn your sales process, learn your skills, learn your techniques, okay? All right. Whew. Where am I at in this? Let's see how we're doing, okay? Who's got questions so far? Yes, give me a comment. I like that guy.
Talked about being
That's a loser.
passionately curious about everything. He says he's not a very special person. But we all know he was. But he would just say that the only thing that might separate me from people is that I'm passionately curious.
You're passionately curious about everything. Oh, I like that. We should probably have said that in the microphone. Be passionately curious about everything, focused on the people we serve. Let that sink in. That's a nice nugget. I feel bad that you shared it now. Now on Monday, you're going to be like, crap, I already told everybody that. Oh, here's my little laser. All right. These are the main principles and keys of what we're going to run into, okay? When we go through your Ignite sessions, let's get in the nitty-gritties. When we talk today about sparking your career, today our objective and what we're going to try to actually transition a little bit, because this is all new curriculum for us. They just launched this new Spark. A lot of what this is focused on is the systems of Keller Williams itself. What we have here to offer. This is what we will end up calling our orientation. However, we already have orientation getting on the calendar for a very short amount of time soon. So we're gonna play with a little bit of it, okay? We here at this office also have people that have resources to be able to put you through some of our systems and processes, right? Bonus points. Who's our command person? Ritz and Alex. Good. Our transaction person. We have already people in place set in the office with staff. None of these. So I don't want you guys to get too hung up on some of that stuff today. But really, man, we've already talked a lot about Oh, yeah. Those pieces. So I'm going to focus a little more on this guy. And then 2 slides away, we're going to focus a lot on that. And I brought some really fun activities for you guys today because we need to be on our toes. We need to be working. We need Alexi to just feel like his entire existence was for this moment. Spark your career. And Cash. It's the last day. Can I put you on the spot? Is that okay? You don't mind, do you? Guys, Cash is awesome. I'll tell you why Cash is awesome. And if you fail this, then you're going to make me look real bad. So don't. Thank you. That was a promise for the rest of his life. Cash and I met the other, a month and a half ago. I share some of our details of our conversation. Cash has a phenomenal job. Incredible. He makes pretty good cake, cheddar, whatever you want to call it. Today's his last day there. He's quitting. Why? Because he wants to chase a dream. He wants to fulfill something. The time that it relatively takes a normal person to regenerate the income that he is walking away from, he understands completely. However, it also is a driver and a force for him. We're going to race to see how fast we can go to regenerate that. But it's those kind of decisions in your life. Those are pivots and shifts. I'm calling a shivot. Shivot actually sounds like a nice word, Drew. I think I'm going to. It's a shift and a pivot together. Pivot. Great. Sounds fantastic to me too. When we talk about embracing your job, connecting with your market, and defining your value, what comes to your mind? It's not all jump at once. Okay. Maybe it does this. Hold on. Yes. It does have a slide for this. Right here, when it talks about sparking your career, embrace. Oh, that's yours, isn't it? Connect with your market and then defining your value. Oh, this is just a course overview. Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. This was the one we were just talking about. This guy right here, we'll spend some good time in this. We're going to spend a really good time in this. We're going to talk a lot about this. We've already got this in place, and this is also part of this. And this is also part of these 3. So it's kind of divided into these and then these 3. We'll kind of break into them, but each class that we have through the new system and the new process, how do I go back? There we go. Each one of these classes actually is charged with the role of reminding you of your success systems and your pieces that you have, okay? So pay attention to those because each one of these as we move through that. We have our training calendar, the little red guys, I think is what you guys have. Is that them? And these May training calendars right here. Whew. Wow, I like these. There's a guy named Ben Nielsen that's coming to teach on Monday. Guy's savage. He's a rock star. Don't show up on Monday unless you're ready to be wowed. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let's talk about Gary Keller. Let's get into our mindset, shall we? This is the fun stuff. This is what I live for. Who knows who Gary Keller is? Anybody not know who Gary is? Drew, do you know who Gary is? Yep. Julie, do you know who Gary is? Viviana? You got it. Gary Keller is the original founder of Keller Williams. Freaking sweet, isn't it? Awesome. Phenomenal. I'm going to tell you something even crazier. You ready for this? Williams. Hey, what is happening here?
Yeah,
Scott,
that's me, Carl. We got the wrong screen.
What do you mean wrong screen?
Not showing the slides on Zoom.
Oh, let me do this. How's that?
There you go. Thanks.
Oh, thanks, Ritz. Okie dokie. Gary Keller had a partner, and we'll get into that later. So Gary Keller is still one of our founders. He holds chairman position. Our company, Keller Williams, is actually divided up into a load of different companies. KWRI is our actual entity that holds everything, kind of runs the whole kit and caboodle. And then you've got Keller Williams Real Estate and all of the different ways that they've organized it all. It's very fascinating. You should be confused. It's a fun process to study it and watch it. Now, focus on Gary Keller, because this guy is inspirational. He's been through it. He understands it. He studies it. He literally built it. Anyone can do it. Not everyone will. Will you? I want to hear about this. Who wants to think about this guy? Anyone can do it. I need a microphone. There's one there next to Ben, so that can cover that side. Let's put one on this side.
Hello.
I just feel like at this moment we just connected. And you're the first one to talk about this. Anyone can do it. Not everyone will. What does this mean, Tyson? What does this mean to you? How do you feel about this?
I feel like it's just kind of what separates all the normal people and everyone who's successful.
Yeah.
Is successful people will do what other people won't, so that they can do what other people can't.
Thank you. Pass it to David. I want to hear his thoughts on this. Yeah, everybody's getting a chance to talk about this quote.
I would say like everyone who's here right now has already gone through a big effort just to get here, you know, the 120 hours, taking the actual test, scheduling. Everyone's got a certain level of drive to get to where they are right now. And it's just who has the ability to persevere through the tough times. Because I think the first couple of years for most agents is the most difficult, getting your SOI, understanding what you're able to do and not able to do. Where's your niche? Where can you be most successful? If you can't find the part that will make you successful, you're going to fail at some point, but you can always persevere through that if you push through it. So are you able to push through the hard times to get to where you can be successful is really what it comes down to.
I like that. Thank you for that. You guys start. Drew? I'm coming to you.
For me, I'd say this means you have to be willing to actually do the extra effort, kind of like Tyson said. You got to be able to like go and actually put in the work and do the things that other people won't do.
I like that. Alexi, you pass that over there.
So, I mean, I'm basically saying what everyone else said. I just think it's the mindset, and it's who can physically do it and have the mental power to do it and who doesn't have the mental power to do it. That's what I think of it.
Like this.
Yeah, just kind of, you know, anybody can try to run a marathon, but it's a matter of who's actually able to get it done and who's able to go through the trials and the hard times of it to do it. So.
I like that. Cash, what are you talking
Deal. For me, it's just kind of a call to action. You know, anyone can do it. So why can't you? And what are you doing to prevent yourself from doing it? It's, you know, if anyone can do it, are you willing to put in the drive and put in the time to do what you need to do to make it happen?
Can somebody actually, I'm coming to you, Viviana, don't worry about it. Can somebody answer that for me? What is it? Study, practicing. Let's dive deeper. I'm not getting off this one. True. What is it?
I think it would be just not necessarily the above effort, but because people get so like comfortable with where they're at, I think it's getting out of your comfort zone and getting uncomfortable for a longer period of time.
Okay, Viviana, define this guy for me.
I think it's the process of it, the process of going through getting to the finish line. where you want to be, your goal or your why, whatever you want to call it.
Thank you. That leads perfectly into my next piece. Has everybody done their why? Anybody not know what their why is? Anybody sitting here scratching their head saying, why do you keep saying why? Why? Why now? The why is what defines exactly what we're doing and for what reason. It is a poster that I have on my wall, right? Define your why. Oh, I actually need you. Okay, pause that thought. You remember that whole ADD thing? You just saw it kick in full gear. I was going to message you and actually ask if you don't mind helping me with one thing, Jasmine. Come on up here. Everybody, this is Jasmine. Jasmine's absolutely incredible. She works with on Red Sign team. And not only that, she is so far above and beyond for this market center and what we do. We have a system and we're supposed to talk about it. And I was like, I know she's coming here today to meet with people. That's how she rolls, to meet with people specifically to talk about it. I was going to try to snag her. She runs what we call our KW Cares organization. It's not working, like at all. Did I just turn it off? Testing 1, 2. Oh, it's because it's on red. How about this one? We got new ones. She is actually running our KW Cares organization, and on one of our slides, and I'll skip over that slide when we get to it. We have Red Day that's coming up next week.
It's in
2 weeks on, yes, sorry, from yesterday, Thursday in 2 weeks. And it asks us to actually cover Red Day. So I was going to let her just do an introduction. Yes. That's really
Okay, I'm so sorry because I have gum. I had no idea I was doing this.
Yeah, we threw you on the spot. We were like, hey, you're just walking by.
I know, and I'm in my workout clothes.
And throwing it at everybody.
Anyway, okay, so Red Day is Keller Williams worldwide shuts down for a National Day of Service. So we close our doors and we do projects out in the communities that we live in and work in to give back. So each year on the second Thursday of May, we come up with some kind of need in the community that we can come together as an office and help with. So this year specifically, we are going to be raising funds to rebuild a home for a family here in Orem. They're the Fernandez family. They have 4 daughters, and the mom and the dad both work really hard. Just really good people. One of their teenage daughters has cerebral palsy. And so she's cognitively a 14-year-old girl. She knows, like she's totally with it mentally, but her body is what challenges her. So she's in a wheelchair and she can't really use her arms and things like that, and her legs. And the home that they live in now was built in the 1950s and it's not ADA accessible at all. So she can't even get her wheelchair in the front door or through any doorways in the home. So they leave her wheelchair in the car and carry her into the house. And then she just has to crawl around the house, which is obviously super hard on her knees and stuff. And she goes through pants super quickly because she's just wearing holes in them. And she's 14 and her parents have to, every single time she needs to use the restroom, they have to take her into the bathroom and lift her onto the toilet and lift her into the shower and help her shower because their house isn't built to accommodate her. And they live in the neighborhood with some of their other like family members that help with their younger daughters in case of emergencies or babysitting and stuff like that. And they really like the little community that they live in because they have help. So they don't want to move away. They just want to fix their home to be able to accommodate their daughter. After they ran all of the numbers, it made more sense to just level out their house and start from the ground up. Because there were so many like electrical and plumbing issues and things like that, that it just was more cost effective to just start over on the land that they already own. So the project's $165,000 And we as an office are just going to raise as much money as we can and reach out to our own family members and neighbors and our own sphere and database to help raise money for this family to rebuild their home. Now, on actual red day, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to work on their home because they're just barely starting the project. So there's nothing for us to do yet, but we will have the opportunity to actually work on this house down the road if anybody wants to. But on actual red day, we're going to be cleaning up a handicap park that it's the Friendship Park in Orem over by the library. The daughter that has cerebral palsy spends a lot of her time there. So we're going to be cleaning up that park for the summer and just making sure it looks really nice, doing any repairs that it needs now that the weather is warming up. So we'll be doing that and then also volunteering in the Habitat for Humanity restores. And so you can sign up for shifts to work for about 2.5 hours in either the park or at one of the restores on that day. We're going to be meeting here at the office at 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to do a breakfast and present the check for however much money we raise to Habitat and to the Fernandez family. And then we'll go split off and work either at a restore or at the park. So we would love it if you guys participated. And can you help them get the link to donate so they can send it out to people and then also to sign up for a shift?
We will have all of, am I back on? Yeah, we will have all those resources already put into our Slack. So
Okay.
watch our
Awesome.
channels.
I'm curious if you have like a Facebook post that kind of like shows a picture of them that explains everything. Like
Yeah.
Like GoFundMe, so it's like very easy for us to share.
Yep, totally. So are you on KW's Facebook page now? So there is a post there that gives the info, but we also sent out an email that has like photos, and the link that they go to has pictures of the family and a full explanation of who they are, what their names are, their ages, and why they need it. So when he sends you that link, you'll have basically everything that you need.
So they weren't going through the process of getting
Uh-huh.
loan to do this, and we're trying to help that process, right?
Yeah.
Help in any way possible.
Yes.
Do they have a contractor that you could help them, or is this all just kind of self-managed?
You know, Habitat does these like rebuilds and stuff like that. And so they are who arranges all of that. But if you know someone that would want to volunteer their time, they'll totally let them do it. So, yeah.
We love it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for coming by too.
Yeah. Good luck, guys.
Awesome. Now I'm double mic'd again. Okay,
You were talking about your why.
we're talking about our why. Just have you hold it.
You bet.
Just why not? The reason we're talking about our why is the biggest key is it's what gets you out of bed. What does it for you? Number one spot of where we start with Keller Williams when we move through our process is defining that. Some people like to define it with a number. If I were to produce X amount of money, oh, that was heavy. This amount of money, I would be able to accomplish this in my life. Now, this is where it gets fascinating. Did you know that I actually have multiple whys? There's a why I'm here. Why am I teaching this class right now? I like to coach. I like to train. It fulfills a why inside of me. There's a why of why I run a Thai restaurant for free on the weekends and whenever else time I have free time. Checks off a little box inside my soul, accomplishes something inside of me. There's a why as to what drives me into doing real estate. Even more so, there's a why that gets me to all of my different pieces of what I want in my life. All of it I could define into a certain role. So the simple answer is, if I made X amount of money, would I be able to accomplish my dream life? Would I be able to continue doing free work at a restaurant? Take care of my million animals that I have running around? Spend time with all my children? Does it accomplish my why? Now, let me use this, and we're going to dive into another segment, a little bit about ourselves. We're going to go a little and pivot again. Oh, shivot. We're going to shivot again into understanding a little bit about how we tick, Drew, and our mindset, and more so, our limitations and our beliefs. This is some of my favorite stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is where I get really excited. Okay. There's a slide that I'm even supposed to, this is the best thing ever. Ready? I'm going to come back to this. Do not let me forget that. All right. It's the process of self-mastery, okay? So it's understanding your goals, knowing your strengths, your weaknesses. And somehow you've got to be able to know how to work with both your strengths and your weaknesses. I took a personality assessment a few weeks ago. In this personality assessment, it was not the KPA that we have here at Keller Williams, which is also fantastic. That dives into a job role of what is my highest fit here at Keller Williams. Who wants to take a guess? Number one, like think about every job that you can do in real estate. We're talking about transactions assistant, showing agent, team leader, coach.
I know which one you
Jen,
got.
you don't get to talk. No, Jen. Who wants to take a guess?
Bye, guys. I just had to say hi.
Number one fit. Number one fit in my category. Oh, that's not a job, though. It's got to be a job. It's got to be a job. Once, twice. Broker. Showing assistant. Team showing assistant. It's my number one rated match. So you guys got buyers you want to take out for fun? Just let me know ahead of time if they do not want to be social. Because it will go very south. That's my number one job. Number two, region leader, director of the region. Fascinating, isn't it? Why is that? Third on that list is a team lead for market center. So I was like, whoa, wait a minute, showing assistant, region, team lead. That's weird. Huh. Unique. Now, in the assessment that I took a couple of weeks ago, this assessment broke down my strengths and my weaknesses, and then gave me a list of people that are just like me in the world. Not just like me, but pretty close. I am what they call an emotional supporter, is my technical role. Every company that has ever been designed and built by some great, what we call a creator, someone that generates ideas and changes the universe, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Walt Disney, creators. Kind of come off a little bit of like D-bags. People, they have some enemies out there. Their business every single time is passed to who? Right after they're ready to move it to the next level. Me, a supporter. The reason they pass it to me is because we're emotional. So we gather little teams around us. And in our little teams, we hunker in, boom. And we emotionally build it. We put the heart inside Walt Disney. We took Walt Disney's kind of crazy character and kind of how psycho that guy was in his head. And seriously, if you've read books about him, guy was a loony bin. But he built something that changed the world forever. The person that he passed the business to helped take this business, well, it was technically, I think, his son. Then his son, just like him, passed it to the next, which that CEO took them from a couple $1 billion, like just kind of barely starting off, to like $71 billion in revenue. Created Bambi, Little Mermaid, the freaking Iconics. However, every single one of my people fail under one circumstance. The minute that they feel like the little circle of trust is broken. Let me translate that into plain English. We're basket cases. We feel betrayed. We implode and self-sabotage ourselves and get kicked out of each one of the companies, feeling like failures. Happened in almost all of them. I was reading through and I was like, these guys suck. They are not known for great things. So how do I take my weakness that I know exists, and how do I apply it to my strength? Hard to know your weaknesses, isn't it? How many of you can list off your weaknesses? Yeah, you guys know you can. You've got one.
So I have a really tough time. I'm really great at beginning things and I'm really terrible at
Finishing the race. He's got a hard time starting. You've got a hard time finishing. What in the world? How do we combine you guys to make a superhuman? So
someone like me to push you to get started.
Yes.
And then I need someone like him to help me finish it up.
It's about working together. It's about finding your areas where people will help you. But even more so, the more that you can understand a little bit about yourself, and the more that you can dive into understanding how you work, that's exactly how you're going to change your life. That's how you're actually going to move your production level. Why is he bringing up money? What does this have to do with money? We're talking about our emotions. It really does. When I know exactly how I work, and I know that I have a tendency to feel emotional, betrayed, have problems, I've got to control that. Because if I can learn how to control that, I can be what they would call more level-headed. My decisions, my reactions, the things that come on the outside. And how does that all affect each other? It all comes from one place, inside here. Oh, we're going to skip a couple slides again because I just love skipping slides. Okay, let's sit on here. Ignore all this. Oh, it's good stuff. Ha! Happiness is not an individual sport. Sean Aker is an incredible author. And if you guys have ever learned how I work, Cash knows because we share it with each other. I wake up in the morning and one of the first things I do is I turn on videos, something to motivate, something to whatever I want to study and learn that day. It plays while I'm in the shower. It plays while I'm brushing my teeth, while I'm getting ready. Even today, my wife came in to talk to me about what are you doing tonight? Did you pick out your plans? And I'm looking at her, I was like, not yet. And then she was like, oh, Emma doesn't want to hang out. And I was like, and I just like looked at her and I was like, I just had this look and she was like, I'm so sorry, I forgot. This is you time. I forgot. And I'm like, don't want to be a jerk. I will communicate with you in a minute, but you've got to let me have me. So I know how I work best is off of my strict schedule on how I work. I wake up and I have an exact list of things that I accomplish right from the beginning. And one of those being brushing my teeth because breath is nasty if it stinks. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously. Next piece, really though, it's I'm going to listen to something that turns this on. From the very beginning, I'm going to start working on this and getting this in sync with this. And once I start doing that, the wheels start turning. So the last few days, I've actually been really enjoying Sean Aker. Oh, this guy has studied happiness. Happiness Advantage. We paid at Keller Williams for Family Reunion to have him come do a huge seminar. Whoa. Were you there? Totally changed my life. And we have been working on this on our huddles, have we not? 3 things that we're grateful for every day, right? We've been talking about this in our meetings where we shift our mindset and belief into something positive. Okay, who feels really good to be put on the spot? Let's do some activities. Let's get some stretching in. Drew? Come on upstairs. Come up here. Come up here. All right. You're a strong guy, right? Now, this is one of my favorite exercises that I learned back when I was going through therapy as a kid, trying to figure out stuff in life. And even more so, one of the things I tried to learn as a child was what the heck was I allergic to? Do you have any allergies?
Just bees.
Bees? Huh. Anything else?
No, sir.
You eat healthy?
No. No.
Let's do a test. Todd, can I give you my wallet while we get this? We're gonna pause this. Go get me some cookies, would you? The real sugary ones, whatever's in there.
I don't want that.
Just something that's not good in any way, shape, or form. Guys, this right here, this is Drew. And if you didn't know anything about Drew, like everybody else, whew, I shouldn't be able to break this guy, right? He's pretty strong. But fun fact, Drew's soul cannot lie. Did you know this, Tyson? The soul inside of you cannot lie under any circumstance. So it's fascinating. So we have a belief about ourselves, and inside of us, we know exactly how we work, how we function. So put the microphone in the other hand. I want you to stick it's your right arm, right?
Yep.
Turn so everybody can see this, okay? Everybody's going to say he's just holding it out stronger. I want you to resist, okay? I'll give you a nice little test. Nice little push. Looks good. Looks good, everybody. All right. Say your name real loud. I am
Drew.
I am Drew. I believe that. I think your name's Julie now.
I think it's not.
Well, I want you to tell yourself that you are. I am Julie.
I am Julie.
Resist me.
I am Julie.
How's that feel? Is that harder?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit? Okay. Let me take something that's not healthy for you. Oh, chocolate cookies. Oh, grandma's chocolate cookies. Do you think these are good for you? No. No? Let's find out. Let's put these in your hand. Okay. Arm out. Same strength. Feel strong, buddy. How do we feel about those? How hard it? Come on, I'm not pushing harder. What's going on here? What's happening to your soul? It's that you just grab something that's a negative. And once your soul actually feels something negative, so doctors use this is fascinating, to find out what you're allergic to. If I had a bee, that would be even better, because your body knows that bees are not okay for you. Fun fact is you can actually use it with sugar. I will not do it with my rock stars, because by golly gee, I promise it will be strong. They are so good for me. I will never give them up. Thank you for this. Okay, stay here. Now, how is it that we can help him believe that he's Julie? Is that possible? No. But let me ask you another question. Put your arm out again. I am smart.
I'm smart.
Do you believe this?
I think so.
I am going to be a great real estate agent.
I'm going to be a great real estate agent.
Come on, man. Resist this. Give me a good strength. Test yourselves. Thank you. Test yourselves as you believe in what you do. Tyson, you're like, there is no freaking way. Do I need to do this with you to believe in yourself? Do you have an ability to hold yourself strong? And the only answer is if it's his arm can resist, obviously it's going to have give. I'm giving him pressure, and this is an awkward place to put it. But if you noticed, and did you feel it when you held those cookies and you were like, huh? You know how I know it's always working is when I hear this, this little laugh inside of them when they're like, holy crap. Either Carl's really strong or something just broke. Maybe I tore my shoulder cuff, rotator cuff. I don't know. I can't hold it up. Every single time that we have a doubting belief in ourselves, that's when we create a roadblock. Okay. Why did I bring this massive mirror up here? Reflections. Who is that? Don't look at me. Look at you. Tell me a little bit about this person. Where's my microphone? We got to be able to hear.
Is it on? This person's Alexi. Is excited for real estate and excited for his future in it.
Lexi, what's Alexi's biggest strengths?
I'd like to say that I'm good at helping people and giving people advice. And
Oh, you would like to say, or Alexi is?
Alexi is good at helping people and giving people advice. I'd say that.
Does Alexi have a weakness?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, I have a hard time starting things, but I'm good at finishing them once I have it started.
What if Alexi believed that Alexi's really good at starting things? Talk to
Well,
Alexi about that.
I guess, yeah, if I could really put my mind to it and believe that I could, I'm sure it'd be a bit easier.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm moving to the next. Who wants it? Who wants the mirror? Tyson, are you ready? Tyson, can you handle the mirror? Okay, Tyson. Who are you looking at here?
I'm looking at Tyson.
Don't look at me. You're talking to Tyson here. Can't look at me. I'm gonna hide behind the mirror. What is Tyson good at? Look at Tyson.
He's good at hitting his goals.
Is Tyson strong?
Sometimes. Most of the time.
Who loves Tyson?
Tyson does.
So I love to hear that. Who's behind Tyson? Who's got Tyson's back? Who's your circle of people?
All my friends, I guess.
I love to hear that. Now, what's one thing Tyson's going to do today? Change Tyson's life.
I'm gonna read books and work out, probably.
There's no probably in this.
Yeah, I will.
I like that. How do we feel, guys? We feel uncomfortable? Is everybody feeling a little? It's uncomfortable a little bit. You ready?
Sure.
Here we go. Who is this?
Ben is good looking.
Ben is good looking, huh?
There's one thing I would change though. Man, if I could do something to grow that back.
But I
But
like it.
you know what, though? To be honest with you, I don't think I'd want it any other way. So I know that this guy has been through a lot of crap. Been through a lot, but it's all that crap that has made me better.
Let's say that we're talking to ourselves 10 years ago. Give me some advice. Look at yourself. Give Ben some advice 10 years ago.
Become a sugar cookie more often. So I think if you've ever read the story of was it Admiral William, I forget his name. He's the one that came up with the, the sugar cookie story. Yeah, so he's a Navy SEAL. Basically during, I don't know if it's Hell Week or just all through becoming a SEAL. For no reason at all, if your boots aren't polished or if your shirt's untucked, or it could be anything. The SEAL instructors would tell their recruits that it could be any reason, go out into the surf and go wade out in the mud and get the sand all over you, and then throughout the rest of the day, you have to have sand all over you and you have to do your work in the sand. Basically, you become a sugar cookie. And so that whole thought process of becoming a sugar cookie 10 years ago, I'm happy that I'm still a sugar cookie. So yeah.
I love that. Be a sugar cookie. Guys, this is a mirror. Did you know that most bathrooms have mirrors? Did you know that if you take a mirror out of a house after it's sold, it's not okay? It's considered an attached object. Is that right, Cade? That's a real estate nugget. Drew. This little guy right here. This is in most of the places that we brush our teeth. One of the first places we arrive in the morning. Bibiana, how do you feel about yourself in the morning? Tired? Who thinks that they look the best? The first time they look in the mirror. Right when they wake up.
I like the way my eyes look in the morning.
Nice and sparkling.
But other than that, yeah.
You guys want to know a weird fact, how strange I am? You know who makes fun of me? Some of my friends about this. That's okay. One of the first things I like to say is good morning to myself as I'm brushing my teeth. Then I pause. Believe it or not, you are freakishly good looking. I talked to myself about it. Man, dang. Looking buff, Carl. Haven't hit the gym in a couple months. Doesn't matter. Looking great. What's that? Can't even see it from this angle. Nope, you can't. I'm not going to even try the side angle. It's not worth it. Starting off with the positivity and the mindset of what we are reinforces things like this. The belief in who you are as you learn to combat. Through the day, things will push down. Through the day, things are going to come at you. That moment that you talked to yourself and you said, man, we've been through a lot together. I cannot prepare you guys for what can happen next week. I can't prepare you for what's going to happen in a few months or a year. Here's one of my favorite pieces of an analogy. I have a daughter, 3 actually, but talk about my first one. Actually my 3rd one, I'm rotating it. First one meaning she's the youngest right now. This little girl is 9 months old. She's a joy. I wish I had a little picture of her. Her name is Vivi. You guys want to know what my favorite things about Vivi is? Dude, I can manipulate that girl. Snapping my fingers. This morning she came, was finishing up, getting ready. My wife came into the bedroom. She had the baby in her arms. And I see this expression as she comes around the corner. This look. There's Dad. And this is how I always respond. Vivi! With a boom like this, without any ability to stop it. She always goes. She explodes. And the other night we tested this even further. We gathered together, we're eating dinner. All of us are together. I've got 4 kids. My wife, we're all hanging out. Vivi's just cruising in her little high chair, trying to figure out how to eat and use her teeth. And there's only 2 of them. And she's trying to get everything figured out in her life. She's focused on these little things. And I whispered to every other kid, I said, we're going to scare Vivi. It's also one of the things I love doing is preparing them for all types of encounters they will have in this world. So as everybody just kept eating, acting nonchalant, I said 1, 2, 3, and I went, ah! And this baby, boom, just an explosion of emotion hit her. And she starts to crumple, panicking. The tears are about to go. And we all went, woo! And all of us cheered her on, laughing and smiling. And she goes, what the heck just happened? We manipulated a child into one of her most terrifying moments of her entire existence into thinking that it was great because we reacted differently. How does that happen? Next kids come in. First things we say. How'd you sleep? Great, good. All of these different pieces. Your interactions immediately matter. The thought process. I had a great night's sleep. How did you have? How did you sleep? Everything that starts off right in the beginning of our core starts everything. So, exercise. Get your pens and papers out. Ready? We're going to write down the things that limiting beliefs. Oh, that's a slide. I know that's a slide. I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Albert Einstein. Hear that again. I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Now, when you unlimit your thinking, you unlimit your success. Limiting beliefs. What are they, my friends? I'm not a good starter. Oof. Limiting. I don't have time for the gym. I've been saying that for a long time. I also peruse Facebook multiple times, check on some videos, make sarcastic comments on Ben's feet. Probably could be hanging out at the gym at that point, doing something with my life, right? What are your limiting beliefs? Write 5. Ready, go. Break it out, think about it, feel it. Limiting beliefs. You know who's not doing this right now? Doesn't have a pen and paper. Five limiting beliefs. Oh yeah, we got pens. I got pens somewhere in my back here. Let's talk about some of those limiting beliefs. Are they as simple as the way you feel about yourself, the way you look? Are they things that stop you from progressing in school, work? Whew. Let's talk about that personal relationship you're in. How's that going? Got a significant other? Want a significant other? Have children? Want children? Woo-wee. What are those limiting beliefs? How we feeling? We almost out there? Okay, are we in it? Good. Tyson, you had some good things you wrote down? Feel strong about it? Yes. Yes. 6 personal perspectives. This is Gary Keller, the people that built Keller Williams, that created everything. Guess what? They gathered together. They took all these mega agents across the nation and they built out something that they called 6 perspectives. 6 personal perspectives. These pieces are what drive us. Successful people accomplish these things and understand them. The first one, we talked about this yet? Commit to self-mastery. Commit to the 80-20 principle. Move from E to P. Make being, whoa. What the heck? Make being learning based. I think that's a typo. Is that a typo? Maybe it's not. The foundation of your action plan. And remove your limiting beliefs and be accountable. So let's go through some of these. Okay. When we commit to self-mastery, we've talked about this. We've got to know our goals. So I've got your limiting beliefs sitting on one side. New sheet of paper or new side of it. I want to talk about your goals. I'll talk about them. Have we written down our goals? Do you guys understand what GPS is? Who knows what a GPS is? Close. It's actually very similar. GPS in your phone, kind of defines it in a way. A GPS is a end destination. In this year, I want to accomplish X. Okay? A GPS is a guide as to what you want. We also describe this in our Keller Williams philosophy as your why. So what is your goal? What are your whys? Take 5 seconds and write this down as well. These need to be on different sheets of paper, okay? Let's clarify this. I need your limiting beliefs on one. I need your goals on another. Prepare yourself because we're also going to write about our strengths and weaknesses. So brace yourself because we're going to be writing a bunch right now. It's game time. We're in it to win it. I have note cards too. Do you want like a note card to be able to write these out? They can lay them in front of them. You just want to be able to stare at them on these little notepads that you have. That's great. Your GPS. Well, your GPS. That's what we're going to be doing right now. GPS. This is what you want to accomplish in your year. Year from now, what do we want to finish? What is our why? I guess those are very similar kinds of pieces. Okay, now that you've got some GPS ideas, keep tinkering as you can. The next principle of what I want you guys to understand is what we call a 4-1-1. Hey, Dennis, welcome to the party. A 4-1-1 action plan. It's pretty freaking sweet. We have these in what we call our scorecards for you. Your scorecards are what you're going to receive as you sign on. Those that are already signed on, you have access to a scorecard. GPS leads to 4-1-1. The 4-1-1 is your guide of daily and weekly planning. You fail to plan, you finish it for me, plan to fail. It's that simple. Fail to plan to fail. So we start off. As you have your GPS now, plan on making your 4-1-1 as soon as you're finished with, actually, we'll have work zone after this. Opportunity time. And we'll be focusing on you making your individual 4-1-1. Your individual 4-1-1 could be pieces. Now, why did I have you guys write down limiting beliefs? Because next, I actually still want you guys to write down on another piece of paper, strengths and weaknesses. I want a weakness first. Write the weakness. Write the opposite of its strength. Ben, can I pick on you? Absolutely. And Alexi, I've been picking on you all day. I told you if you sat in the front. Yeah. Weakness, terrible at finishing. Yes. Strength, great at starting. Yep. Opposite for you, right? Write your strength, your weakness first. I want to hear your weakness. Write your strength after that. Separate paper. Ooh, we're getting a lot of pieces of paper. Not tree friendly here, are we? Hurtful. Weaknesses. What are weaknesses, though? We've already talked to
Unrefined habits, probably.
unrefined habits. That's phenomenal.
Or not, or things that haven't become habits yet. Just an
Yes.
Unrefined process.
Unrefined process. Okay. I just needed a couple of those because we're moving to this next point. It's time for us to talk about this. Did you guys know that 20%, have you guys heard this before? The 80-20? Just if you can, raise your hand if you honestly do not know anything about the 80-20. If you've never heard of it. Okay, let's try this again. Raise your hand if you know what the 80-20 is. Excellent. Okay, I got it. Understand. Okay, 80-20. Let's recap this. 20% of what you do does what? 20% of what you do accomplishes 80% of your goals. So 20% of your actions takes care of 80% of your results. Like, there's no freaking way. This is real. This is real. Did you know you can just swap this and then it becomes even more terrifying? We oftentimes kind of forget that whole part. 80% of what you're doing is literally making nothing. But the heck? Okay, so this next activity, I need a next piece of paper. I promise this is all going to come together. You guys are like, why are we just writing papers? This guy just has me writing new sheets all the time. Bibiana, Cash, everybody, here we go. One side. So divide it and column. I'm a piece of paper right here. See my T bars? On this side right here, or however you want to write it. This right here is my 20%. This right here is my 80%. How do I want to define this? Last 24 hours. I want you to talk about what you've done. Write down everything that you have done for your business, your work, accomplishing your goals. Okay? Put it on either an 80 or 20. Everything you've done, good or bad. Think about everything you've done last 24 hours. How do we feel about it, Cade? Not a lot done. That's okay. We love you. It's going to be a short activity. 20. What have we done the last 24 hours in our business, Lexi? Thank you. Sell by owners. This for sell by owners, an 80 or 20. He's calling them. Calling for sale by owners. Are we putting this on an 80 or 20? How many hours did you do it? An hour and a half? Does that sound like a 20 to me or an 80? Sounds like definitely a 20, right? Did you get any results from it? Anybody talk to you about coming over? They were rude. Guys, for sale by owners is so freaking fun. If you ever feel like you're having a bad day, call a for sale by owner. Ask them how many phone calls they've received. Yeah, it's messed up. They get a lot, and it's super exciting because they just get a little riled. It's also one of the best ways to crack that appointment. Sure, everybody and their dog's calling you now. Yes, so freaking sick of this. Do you want it to stop? I know how. Yeah, tell me how. List your house with me. Got him. Did you know the minute it goes on the MLS with a contract with me, people stop calling you legally? You guys are a bunch of pigs. All right, what's this next guy? Here we go. All right, we've written down our 80-20s. This. Whew. It's really fascinating that we talked about calling for sale by owners because this goes exactly into this. Very, 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 very good. Okay, this is what a lot of people focus on, right? They're going really, 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 really well. And then all of a sudden, everything went down. Did not go well. She was rude, hurt my feelings. I'm just going to stop. This happen? Ever? Anybody? Have a hard time accomplishing something? Okay, this is a purposeful approach. We want to go from E to P. This right here is at some point when you're doing something, you're going to break through. Hey, you know who we're going to pick on right now? Julie. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the party. This is so much fun. I'm so glad you're here. Julie, I want you to talk to me about, okay, a 10K is how many laps? Like
25.
How many?
25.
Whoo! Talk to me about your strategy. Like,
S-
do you guys break it? Let me clarify, because you're going to be like, what the heck? Okay. Do you break your race down in segments?
yeah,
Okay. Talk to me about those segments. How many do I?
5. So I do 5 laps.
Oh,
5.
second set, third set, fourth set, fifth set. What do I do on my first set?
So I usually pick a word for every set and just focus on that word for the 5 laps.
Wait a minute. You just said what?
So like I'll pick a word and I'll focus on that word.
So as you're running 5 laps, you're just thinking about only that word.
Yeah.
Can we ask what those words are?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a different word every time you run the race?
Sometimes.
Okay, let's hear. You know what we have? You guys don't know this, but I know Julie quite well. We are good friends. You PR'd
I
your
did.
last 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
You knocked it out of the park.
I did.
Word number 1.
Relax.
The freak. Okay. Number 2.
Settle.
What is this for? Okay. Number 3.
Commit.
Oh. I feel like you should be up here at this point now that I'm going through all these words. What's number 4?
Fight.
Number 5.
Finish.
Julie, can I pick on you even more?
You sure can.
You sure? You're
Yeah.
comfortable being on the spot?
Yeah.
What happened last week?
I had a really bad race. Like very, very bad.
Okay. Why?
I didn't really break the race up and I didn't have words for each mile. I just didn't have a good mindset going into it. So I
Because
think,
last time you ran a 5K.
yeah,
Not, oh yeah, 10K, 5K.
10K, 5K.
And when you run a 5K, it's by how many laps do you usually? Is 5 segments again?
No, I do 3. I
3.
break it up into miles.
The last time you didn't, did you
I
pick
didn't do
words?
that. Mm-mm,
Shoot,
I did not.
that's okay. What happened, my friends? We're outside coaches. Everybody put a coaching hat on. What happened? We already know the answer. She knows the answer. She literally knows it. What a fascinating process that, again, we're talking about systems here. Now, every single one of us, including Julie, gets to make a choice right now. I just received disappointment right before I broke through. Man, the week before I PR'd, I ran my freaking greatest race I've ever done. What's next? You have that high, that excitement. Can I venture on a course here? Did we not set words for the next race because you thought of how great you did the last time?
Yeah.
And you were like, it's half the distance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna freaking smoke these clowns.
Yep.
Was the preparation the same though?
No.
Definitely no. And the results were not. Thanks for letting us pick on you.
You're
And
welcome.
jump into this. Guys, this applies to literally everything in your life. This moves exactly into real estate. Why does it move into real estate? I will tell you why. Every single time that you pick up the phone to dial, every time that you reach out to a client, you are going to run into either a positive or a negative. It's one or the other. Either somebody's going to want to move towards selling a house or they will not. Now I'll be vulnerable for a little bit. Monday, days that I call, this is what I call them, total transparency. I call them storm cloud days. Monday was a storm cloud day. In fact, my really good friend, Julie, and her dad, we hang out a bunch. We like to go to Chili's, eat food, hang out. I got a message from her that day. And I got a phone call from him. So not today. Not feeling it today. I'll tell you what started off my day. My day started off with trying to solve a solution on a house that I'm trying to get. My buyer fell through. I was ticked. They backed out. But I negotiated somehow $40,000 off the price of a house in this market. So I'm a real estate genius. This is a deal I can't let go back on the market because somebody will now snag it up and I won't get it. So I decided to go call some of my SOI that's on my client tracker, that's in my cultivate 6 months or more category. These are good people that I've worked with, walked through homes with them, kind of probably got them pre-approved at some point. They've been kind of moved around. They're in the cultivate area. And I ran into a couple. Oh my gosh, there's their names. That's why I have the tracker, because you can't remember everybody's name, right? Oh, they totally wanted something about the 400,000 price point. He's totally does construction for a living. He could fix the problem of why I got $40,000 off the price. That should cost about $3,000 to fix. Genius. And I reach out to them. And I get a message that says, thanks for reaching out. We actually totally got hooked up and we're closing on a house. May 11th. Wait, what? You're like my client. Like we go to dinner together. Like we hang out together. Like we're family friends. I've showed you house. Wait. And I'm like, okay, breathe. Again, go in my steps. Do not react. Do not react. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. Congrats. Did you like just buy like some friend's house that was off market or something? No, I ended up going with a different lender because yours said that you couldn't do this. So we ended up, somebody told us about another program and we ended up going to that. And then they totally got us a 0 down program. It's called Utah Housing, just so you guys know. And yeah, they set us up with someone in that program to help us get a home. And they totally got us into this house a couple weeks ago and we close on May 11th. We're so freaking excited. Tyson, how does that feel, man? Yeah, because here's where my brain started going. Hold on, wait a minute. The person that referred that is your parents. Your parents have always bought real estate with me. Now they know that there's somebody better out there than myself. Now they think that the lender that I had subscribed a year ago, who was in a thing that couldn't break into the Utah Housing Program because they weren't a part of it. Shoot, whose fault is that? It's on me. They went and learned that there's other programs which we could have done, and an agent took the time to get them into a home, even in this market, doing an FHA 0 down program. And somebody did it. So not only did I just lose them and their friends, but I just lost their parents who have bought multiple homes with me and all of their friends that they constantly refer to me. Needless to say, I felt a little blue, little storm cloud. Then the whole list of crap started happening. My wife decided to tell me that she just mowed the lawn for me and oh my gosh. The animals, yeah. Oh, perfect. Did you forget that we sprayed it with poison on Saturday? Oh, I'm like, not even gonna deal with that one. Let's just throw that out the window. Maybe my animals are dead. I don't know. I don't care. I'm past that. My clients want somebody else. What the heck? All right, let's just keep rolling. Wait a minute. Kaboom. Something just happened. My parents' life. All on the same day. Now my parents are struggling with some stuff. Now they're reaching out to me about it. Not a good day to talk to me about this, guys. Boom. I get home, my daughter's crying. The freak are you freaking crying about? I'm so stressed. B14's hard. You have no freaking clue what stress is. Let me storm cloud about this to you. No, luckily I controlled myself a little bit and was like, oh. Guys, each one of us has days like this and processes like this. So how do we react and how do we go? The next day, what was my options? What were my options? Keep thinking about it. Or what's my doggone line that I say all the time? Have you guys heard it when something bad happens in real estate? Come on, it's one word. We yell it out loud. Next. Next. Finally, I just had to yell it out loud. It's done. I got on my client tracker and deleted their name off of it so I didn't have to think about them. They're closing house with somebody else. Move on. because there's other people in there that I need to work with and hustle with and help. And my child needs me. She still thinks she's going through a crisis. Bro, you're in 8th grade, man. Like, that test doesn't even matter. You can fail that for all I know. It literally won't even be on your record, buddy. I'm not going to say that. I just say, hey, you got this. Believe in yourself. Yeah. Grab a mirror. Look at yourself. Say hi. Tell you that you love yourself. No. Guys, these are the different pieces. We have a choice in our life to always break through and make something happen so we can get to P, or we can choose to go down. Even at a professional level, sometimes we have our moments. But I can promise you that the key to that is that I have to push through. So what do I have tonight? I get to show that house. Woo! Still off market. Yes. Got another client. We move to the next one. We move to the next mindset. Guess what? The daughter finished her stupid test. It's not stupid. Finished it. She's happy. Everything's great. Life's good. My animals, not dead. Gave them a bunch of penicillin when I got home. Everybody got shots. It was lovely. Didn't change the needles either. So I don't know if that's okay, but everybody got it. The animals are all good. Turns out everything's fine. False alarm, mild crisis for nothing. But when we let ourselves get into the mindset that something's negative and we don't move to the other direction of moving up, that's when we go down. Okay, we have now written a huge, oh, I love it. I don't understand why they wrote that. Is it to reach an acronym that we were supposed to know? Learning based, this is supposed to be in quotations. That would make this all better because my brain is freaking out about this, okay? I ain't done not go to college, but I do consider myself an intelligent man. Just kidding, I did go to college for like 6 years. A lot of different things. Didn't finish my degree. For a while there, I had the same amount of college as my brother who has a doctorate. He's a surgeon. It was pretty impressive. We were the same level of education. Learning based, the foundation of your mental, what is that? Action plan. Okay, this is the fourth. Here they are. Okay, we're gonna go down 2 other pieces. Here we go. It's 2 slides away. Make meaning, learn, ignorance-based, learning-based. Good. You can learn, you can learn, you can learn. Here we go. Yes. We are going to be accountable to this. Everybody, take out your 3. How many sheets did I have you do? 3 or 4? Then what time is it? Oh, we're flying. Wait, it's almost been 2 hours. I've been talking for 2 hours. Jeez. Anybody need a bathroom break? We're okay? Bathroom break. 5 minutes, bathroom break. I'm turning off the mic. Get a piece of paper ready.